All right, guys, I'm excited to show you our next major project, and that's where we're going to use our drawing and shading skills to draw an original stuffed toy. And I can imagine in a way that can seem overwhelming and such a big leap. So, what I want to show you is the path that you've been on and all the tools that are in your toolbox that'll allow you to really do a fantastic job on this project. And if you think back to the start of the year, we started just making these simple pencil strokes. And these strokes, being able to do nice big shapes, are going to really help you draw your objects. We also looked at how bending lines on a form will make it look three-dimensional. Even in this moment, if you could imagine this almost like yarn on a toy, or if I put googly eyes, these could be some sort of like toy monster. So already a building technique. And then we've worked with different pencil techniques, our tornado pencil stroke to create soft pencil strokes. And we've explored these pencil movements and marks, doing big spirals to be loose, using these sort of worm-like lines to make things look three-dimensional, exploiting it in a project that if I curve my lines, things will look three-dimensional. And so after all this pencil technique as well to practice, we really looked at maybe how we could make a beautiful design going from dark to light inside of a small shape, starting with a soft gray and then building our darks up, feathering in our darks into our light grays. And that's how we can start getting this neat, beautiful drawing. So we all did this drawing of the heart. Our drawings were all very, very similar. And that set us up for our next major project of the fractured still life, of drawing a larger piece of artwork and then inside each shape laying in a soft gray and then building up a darker gray. So at this point, I'm hoping we have good pencil technique. Now we need to start moving forward and putting this pencil technique into drawings. And to do that, we moved on to this value packet. We looked at value scales, getting that dark to light in a long shape. Then we tried to get this dark to light inside these unusual objects, trying to get more control. And eventually, we talked about the logic of light. We looked at how light behaves predictably, and it travels in straight lines. And any part of an object that's close to the light will be a highlight. And as the object falls away, it'll fall into shadow. And that shadow will describe the form. This form is a sphere, so this form shadow is circular. It's curved, and then it leaves a cast shadow. This form is a cone, which is very triangular, so its highlight is very triangular, and its form shadow is very triangular. And then we have a cast shadow. And that follows for the cylinder and the cube. So we continued on that and then tried to put these objects together so that the light consistently might come from the left side with shadows cast to the left, or reversing that with the light from the right side and shadows cast to the left. So really building step by step. And then our next step is in our sketchbook. We all drew a toy snowman. And the logic to that is that we're beginning to draw an object using these building blocks. And the snowman is just a great example. It's three spheres. And light will act on those spheres consistently. It'll travel straight like an arrow. And in a sphere, it's like a bullseye. A highlight, the shadow builds up more. And the more I can repeat that, the more effective my illusion will be. So we all did this snow person together in our sketchbook. And then you drew your own original snowman. So again, I hope you can see how sort of supported that is. We drew one together, and now you draw one independently. That's getting you ready to draw the toy. And we're going to do some other drawings. Perhaps we'll take a how to draw sheet, and rather than just drawing it realistically, exaggerate the shapes and turn that into a toy. Another task we will do is, I have this caterpillar example, and we'll just draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. And each circle will decorate with some toy elements. And that'll help you create this. Another drawing we'll do is, I have this pig drawing we'll do together, and it'll teach you how to make the legs look like they're coming out and towards the viewer. And with all of those skills, I do think you're going to be ready to use our basic forms to draw a toy. So when you look at this, it's basically a big sphere. I think you could describe this muzzle as a cube. The horns are cones. This tail is fundamentally a cone. So I hope when you look at that, you can really see how we are traveling a path. This project doesn't arrive out of thin air and ask you to make leaps that aren't reasonable. This project is built from the first day of school to this point, and it is challenging because now you have to use these tools, but I want you to feel confident that you have put in the work and that you have been provided the skills to really be successful.